Sorry we couldn't deliver the people.
No. Cars, we need to tighten it up.
Yeah.
Okay, Bill Plimpton here in beautiful Portland, Oregon at the Crystal Ballroom for the West Coast premiere of Hair High, my new animated feature film. These cars are period cars. They're from the late 50s, early 60s, and this is actually a lot older here. And they came out to show the Portlanders what the film's all about. You know, it's all about an era that's long gone, but it's a very mythological era. So I'm actually just taking a break while they're showing the film now. In about 20 minutes I'll go back upstairs and finish the talk. So anyway, hope to see you soon.
Hi, and we're rolling.
Okay, I'm Bill Plimpton, and I'm here at the Crystal Ballroom to premiere my new film, Hair High. And you can see by these vehicles that it's a period film. It's from the late 50s, early 60s. And these wonderful car owners came by to show the era that it's from. We also showed Guard Dog. What's happening right now is they're showing the film, so I don't really need to be up there. But we showed a short film called Guard Dog. It did very well. And in about 40 minutes, I'll go back up there and do a Q&A, and hopefully the audience will have a good time. Anyway, thank you very much for checking it out. Thank you very much. Wow, thank you. That was great. But you guys are a great audience. I apologize for that light coming in through there. It's just, you know, that's life. I apologize for that. So when it opens up next winter, I'll give you all a free ticket to see it in real color and everything. Just let me know. There were some thank yous that I forgot, obviously, and there may be even some more thank yous I forgot. So let me just run through them real quick. Janice Bangs, thank you very much, okay to you. Have you guys seen the cars outside? They rock. I mean, they are, could the people, the owners of the cars, could you please stand up and take a bow? Because those cars, there's over here, man, check out those cars. You guys, those are beautiful vehicles, and don't go away. I want to get a picture in front of those cars. Those are amazing. A really beautiful, beautiful job. Thank you very much. Travis and all the people here at the Crystal Ballroom, they put this thing together. They really worked hard. I really appreciate all the work. Thank you, Crystal Ballroom, for a great job. And last but not least, my mom and dad. They're here somewhere. So let's bring up Asifa. Come on up. Oh, Steve's here. Now we have the lottery for the, or the drawing for the raffle. So why don't you go ahead and...
All right, thanks again to everybody who took part in this raffle here. We got a lot of people going on. So you're not only going to enjoy some great animated shorts, but you're helping to support the animation community here in the Northwest, so that's awesome. We've got 5 to give away. I'll just pull these out, read the name, and then if you could just do me a favor, screech like a schoolgirl, and then run back there to pick up your DVD from our table. I think she's waving furiously now, so. First one, of course, is the one that I can't read. Hassan Ravayan. Am I saying that right? All right. You got one.
Stephanie Baggs. Stephanie Baggs, are you there?
All right, Eric Weiler.
All right, Eric. Steve, you want to get one? John Schmink. John Schmink, over here, big winner.
How about Bret Hart?
All right.
All right, thanks again. Thanks a lot.
Just to let you know that if you like the film, we do have graphic novels of the film back there in my booth, and we also have some DVDs and videos. And check out the ASIFA table and the Oregon media movie table. There's a lot of cool stuff back there that have to do with films. Next, I want to introduce the guy who's putting this all together, Steve Tenhonen. Steve, take it back.
Well, guys, if I could just say a quick few words. You could have made a movie about the roller coaster of making this event happen, but it's happened. And thanks, everybody. This is kind of like my Hair High prom night. I dreamed of this, and here it is. So let's enjoy. And also, if you guys check out www.cinemajunkyproductions.com, you'll see some more cool stuff we're going to put together in the future. So, thanks for coming, guys.
If you never need any PR, Steve is the best man in the city. He really worked on this thing for months and really had used all his connections. Don't go away, Stephen. So now the exciting time, we're going to have the actors come up. They just arrived, right? They just came in. Why don't you come on up, Eric and Martha and Keith. Martha Plimpton. This is Eric Gilliland, the voice of Spud. And of course, Keith Carradine. Come on up here, Keith. We did JoJo. I'm going to let them talk a little bit about... Back up? Oh, okay. I want to get some feedback here. I want to let them talk a little bit about their roles in the film. Martha was particularly involved early on. As you can see, she was co-producer. You can move that out. And so I want to let her talk about her role, and she actually has a lot of Oregon roots here. I don't know if you know that or not. So Martha, do you want to talk a little bit about your involvement?
Hi everybody, welcome. Thank you for being here. It's wonderful to see such a huge, great turnout. I'm so delighted that we could join you for this event. It's been a really long time coming, and I'm really proud of my distant cousin Bill for what he did with this movie. It's a huge, enormous achievement, and I've loved watching him, work on it, and the project just get tighter and better every day. And it's great to see it culminate in all of this. Like Bill said, I have family here in Oregon. Most of my family comes from Oregon, Washington. So it's really gratifying to sort of come home in that way for this event. It's been, I don't know, it's just beautiful, and it's such a beautiful city, and to get here at sunset is just gorgeous. So anyway, I'll just tell you a little bit about how I got involved. I know that you know that Bill's been making movies for a long time, and I've always been a fan of his, and I've always wanted to do a voice for him, and somehow this time it just worked out, and it seemed to me that he should have a lot of other actors doing voices for him. He's always had great people doing voices, but it seemed to me it was time for him to sort of, branch out in the world and get some, professional union members in there. Go Union! So that's what I decided my job would be fairly early on, was helping Bill cast this film. I called up my dad immediately, and I called up Eric here immediately, who's really a writer, a comedy writer. You know his work from Roseanne and Who's the Boss and all these other, what else? And all kinds of, what else, Eric?
Weren't you in Goonies?
Oh yeah, he wants me to tell you how I was in Goonies. And Eric is, and he worked on the Wonder Years too, Eric did. So he's a big fancy writer out there in Hollywood. And, but he's also a terrific actor, and comic, and I wanted him to be a part of this. And he knows Dermot, and you know, on down the line, just basically got all our friends to be a part of this. And you know, all of them knew Bill's work, and all of them were just rushing to be a part of it. So we were really lucky in that way. I can't see any of your faces. You're all, I don't know if all of you are looking at me like, she is so boring. Oh my God. So what else should I say, Bill? So we got all these voices together, and it was pretty wild because we had to get everybody from all over the country. I mean, you know, people in LA, people in New York, people traveling here and there. Matt Groening was, you know, a challenge. Everything was a challenge. But the great thing was that everyone wanted to be a part of it. So we were very, very lucky in that way. What else should I say, Bill?
Well, I don't know. What was it like working with me?
It was great. What was it like working with you, Bill Plimpton? It was great. You know, it was the easiest job I ever had. Bill, we just came in, we went into a studio, we recorded the dialogue. He was very easygoing about it, yet very specific, without being, you know, overbearing at all, which, you know, animators are very anal kind of people. And, he showed us pictures of our characters, so we knew exactly what we were going to be, you know, looking like, and sort of kind of had an idea of how we'd be moving and everything in the movie. And what else? What else? It only took an hour. Yeah, it took an hour. I took an hour. I don't know about everybody else. Boom, boom, that's me. Fast. I work fast. So anyway, I'm going to let these guys talk now, because you're probably sick of hearing my voice, but I'm going to introduce you to Eric Gilliland, who's the fancy comedy writer over here and who played Spud. And I think this is your first movie, right?
He lost the card already.
Yeah. Thanks. I bought the suit in Vermont in a church basement for $2. And I gave them 5. So I'm a sport. Yes, the first thing I've really done. To be a voice in a Bill Plimpton cartoon is unbelievable and so cool. And we got paid. I got paid $1,000 to join. I had to join SAG. It cost me $1,500 to join. I'm in the red. Great movie. But I took about 2.5 hours, 3 hours for the whole movie, which just seems crazy. People say, "Oh, did you do weeks and weeks?" No, in and out, real fast. Had a beer. It was nice. What else do you want? What else should I say? What about Spud the character? I haven't seen the movie. I don't know. Oh, go on with you. He wanted me to be sort of like a naive, younger version of me, I guess, not sarcastic. And he let me. The great thing when we're recording, he let me sort of play around a little bit every now and then. I could sort of do a little ad-libbing kind of stuff, which is really fun and really cool. And I think maybe it freaked you out? A little bit. A little bit? Anal. But I had a blast. It was so much fun to do a voice in the cartoon. It's like it was my dream for my whole life. So it was really exciting as hell. What else you got? What else can I ask? I live in New York City. And this suit cost $2.
And then the character of JoJo in the fountain soda shop is Keith Carradine. Keith, you want to come up?
Thank you. Hi. So,
Growing up a fan of animation in general, and then knowing about Bill's work and being a huge fan of his work, and having tried many times over the years to be a voice in some animated thing or other. And, you know, I tried to get into the Disney animated movies. I tried to get into the, you know, what a Touchstone, DreamWorks. You know, they always said, well, I don't think so. Until, you know, Bill came along, and Martha, my daughter, called me up and said, listen, Bill's doing this movie, and you can do a voice in it. I said, oh, finally, I guess that's the only way I'm going to get to do a voice in one of these is, you know, when family hires me. So that's basically what happened. And then Bill showed me a drawing of JoJo, and I said, oh, thank God I get to do a voice for someone who looks just like me. And no, it was a blast. I went to New York, one of my pilgrimages to see Martha, who was doing a play. I don't remember which. Martha does a play every 2 months in New York, so, you know. I was back there for one of them and went into the studio and worked with Bill for an hour and a half or 2 hours and had this amazing experience. And, you know, a year later, saw this movie. And I'm privileged and honored to be a part of it. And I'm really sorry about what I wore tonight, but we were obviously grossly misinformed about the nature of the evening. No, actually, what we dressed for was not for the event. We dressed for the cars, just so you know. That's what we dressed for. Anyhow, thank you so much for being here, and party on.
So, yeah, if you can turn the house lights up a little bit, I think we can do a few questions. Is that okay? Can we okay with that? Anybody have any questions? You want to ask about the film? Yeah, right here in front. Speak up loud though, so everybody can hear it.
This is a question for you and Martha. Did things ever get ugly during production between the two?
Ugly. Did they ever get ugly?
The time that my neighbor vomited on your dress, was that ugly?
Yeah. We went out one night and we went out for Chinese food really late at night with his neighbor. What was her name again? Karen, yeah. She puked on me. So that was the roughest it ever got. You know, Bill's a very laid-back guy, as you can see, except when he's drawing. And then you better not mess with him. Right? That's true. It is true. All right, so does that answer your question? Okay. Sorry about the, well, whatever, the vomits.
No, I'm very happy working with Martha, and I hope, you know, I can work again with her. My remembrance of it was we were at a bar, and I was complaining how I couldn't get distribution for my films because there was no names in it. Bill Plimpton wasn't a real marketable name. And so she said, well, let me make a few phone calls, and she got this amazing list of actors that I was like, just embarrassed to even talk to them, and it just was really so cool, and it's helped so much. Working with really professional actors was a new experience for me. I mean, really top-notch Hollywood stars was a new experience. So it was a wonderful experience, and I hope maybe again. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. Anybody else?
Back there.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. 30,000. Yeah. Well, pardon for the selfless self-promotion, but the novel, graphic novel back there on my table, I put that on my drawing board, and I actually went page by page and followed those storyboards pretty closely. I didn't edit out very much. There was a scene where I talk about the Tijuana tonic, about the history of it with Montezuma and his screwing all of his native girls and virgins and everything, and that's cut. Yeah, I had to cut it. It just sort of slowed it down, and it just didn't work. But pretty much that novel is drawing scene by scene, pretty much follows the script of the film, and that's how I did it. Started at the beginning and worked to the end. You know, way back there.
Martha, want to take that?
Yes, Eric, I do. You can tell your version later. He lost his car earlier today. Anyway, We did the recording first, and then Bill, he did the drawing, but I think, as far as I know, you did the drawing of the actual faces moving once our voices were already recorded so that he could match that to what we'd done. I think that's, for him anyway, the most practical and most sort of natural, sort of organic way to do it, as far as I know.
Yeah. I think I might have shown a few scenes. Did you see any scenes at all, Keith, before you?
No, I'd actually gone online because, you know, as you know, Bill was drawing. You could watch him. You could go on the internet and watch him draw. So I knew about that, and I was able to go online a few times and watch him as he was working. But obviously, he was working on stuff that I hadn't done yet. He wasn't drawing JoJo yet because I hadn't done the voice yet. But I did get to see, you know, I had an idea what I was getting into.
Yeah, right here.
Bill,
Yeah.
now that this is in the can, do you have anything else in your brain coming up that you're going to put out?
Well, I am doing. The question was, what's my next project? And I am doing some animation for this Drew Carey show that opens. You know? It's called Drew Carey Green Screen, and what it is, it's that Whose Line Is It, but with animated backgrounds. Instead of blank backgrounds, we do animation for the background. So watch for that. It's on Warner Brothers Network. It should be in September. So you know, check that out. That's the only new thing I'm doing. I saw a question way in the back there. Yes. How about the song from Nashville?
I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me.
Yeah, right here, right now, yeah.
D, none of the above.
B.
Martha, do you want to comment on that one?
No.
How about over here? Yeah, right here. Right. The question was about Matt Groening. I've known, actually I knew Matt's father first, Homer, who as you know was a great filmmaker. He was a great comedic filmmaker. He did industrials here. And I was a big fan of his films, and then I met Matt when he was just starting out doing comics with Linda Barry. So we've sort of known each other for a long time, and even though he makes 1,000 times more money than I do, he still actually talks to me. And I saw him at the Comic-Con last year, and I said, Matt, would you like to do a voice in my new film? He said, yeah, which is amazing because, you know, he never does voices, even for The Simpsons or Futurama. He rarely does voices. But he was really nice enough to do it, and in fact, it was done long distance. I was in New York, and he was in LA, and we had to do it over the phone. So it was kind of difficult in that regard, but he was a real trooper, and he gave me a half an hour of his time and did the voice. I don't know if you knew or not, he was one of the fishermen there, the fisherman with a hat. That was Matt. I don't think he's seen it yet. I don't think he's seen the film yet, so hopefully when he comes out, he'll get to see it. But you know, a funny story about him. You know, he's probably the richest artist in the world. I think I paid him $300 for this. He hasn't cashed the check yet. He ain't starving to death, I guess, you know. Anybody else?
Right here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Bill, I spent a lot of time with you back in about 1963. You say you spent $300 with him. I can believe that.
Ah.
You spent a nickel. The other thing I wanted to ask is I remember seeing you at a drive-in movie. I remember taking you to a drive-in movie.
Uh-huh.
Sort of watching you at that drive-in movie was the first time you took your girl to a
Right.
drive-in movie.
Uh-oh. Is this going to be embarrassing?
Did any of this, at that time,
If you didn't hear the question, he was asking if my first trip to the drive-in movie with Mike McCullough here was inspirational. And yes, it was. I remember Oregon City had a really great drive-in movie theater up on the hill there. And of course, it wasn't really there for movies, obviously. And so that was a lot of my inspiration. The gag with the catsup, the mayonnaise rather, that was, I don't know, I made that up like a few years ago, so I don't know. I don't think that was from Oregon City High School. But there are a lot of Oregon City High School alum from my class here, so I'm curious to know if they saw themselves in the film. A couple of women have come up and said that they're the slut, the Darlene character. I don't know. So please come up afterwards and see if that's you. One more question. Anybody else? Oh, way in the back. Yeah, thank you. Okay, that's an animation question. What's the longest I've ever held a frame for? Well, that guy, Rod, when he goes mad, that's about 20 seconds, and that saves me a lot of drawing right there. I love that. That's great. So, you want to say anything else before we go?
B.
Okay. I want to thank you guys so much for coming up here. It really means a lot to me. It's really, really important. And it's really a great crowd. Thank you guys for coming out. It's really great. So next we're going to take the screen down. And the joggers are coming up, so stick around for that. It's going to be a great, great rock band. You'll enjoy it a lot. And I'll be in the back there. If you want to chat with me, I'll be around. See you later.
Yeah, guys, hey, be sure to hang around because we're going to do some quick, just a few quick changes here. And these guys, the joggers, are a trip. They were just recently written up in Rolling Stone magazine. They're well worth your money to stick around and see. All right, gang? Hang tough.
Mow it, blow it, show it, grow it.
I think it was the warm weather, but she really wanted to see it. We went to see Nashville together.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah, back
That's
in the
great.
day.
That was a
Back
while
in the
ago.
day. Oh yeah. I mean, we still can sing the songs in the house. I mean, we're not that kooky, you know. But what I mean,
Okay.
really,
Okay.
it's a nice thing. And
That's great.
you guys just talk amongst yourselves. And,
Let's talk amongst ourselves.
oh, yeah.
How's that gorilla hand doing?
Hide it. Actually, pictures.
What happened there?
I got bit by something. It's all.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that your,
Wild?
like, here in Oregon or before you?
No, last night.
Oh, last night?
Yeah. Was that somehow related to you losing your car?
We think it was.
Yes, probably. It was all part of it. It was a long night. Good night. I hear. Just another New York.
Just there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was actually in L.A. Oh, it's in L.A.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Stupid Hollywood.
Yeah, we've all been in LA for the last few weeks.
This is a
Eric
stupid
is a
Hollywood kind of
recent New York
redundancy.
Yes, it is.
transplant, actually.
Martha, did you grow up in New York?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
then that's where the families lived for.
My mom and I lived there for,
Gotcha.
my mom and I stayed there, always have lived there. And then she moved back to Seattle recently, well, not so recently, about 11 or 12 years ago. 13 years. I don't want to say how many years ago she moved
A while back.
Yeah, a while back. And, but she actually comes down to Oregon all the time because we have family in Depot Bay.
Oh, yeah.
So she's
Beautiful.
down here a lot, actually, visiting our family there. And, yeah, but I've always been in New York.
I moved there 4 years ago. I'm like so happy. Crazy happy.
We have a friend who works for Condé Nast. She's married to a fellow who is third generation, never have gotten behind the wheel of a car.
Really?
In not uncommon. Most of my friends who were born and raised in New York don't drive. Most of them.
Very happy in the city.
Heidi, Judy, none of them.
A
None
lot of
them
New
drive.
Yorkers come to LA as adults and they're just,
They just can't, no,
They're
they don't
lost.
even do it. They don't even do it.
no, I don't drive a car, I can't rent a car.
Right.
How do you get anywhere? No, without a car, you don't. Unless you got friends.
No, I know. So that's why most of us like to stay out of Los Angeles.
How long do we get you in town? How long are you gonna stay in Portland?
We're just here overnight.
We're here overnight
Eric's
at
here.
Eric's.
on a night, 'cause I've never been before.
Okay, great.
Hang out and see the
city there.
town.
All right.
I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah, I hope, maybe, if you, do they have plans for you this evening, or you got things
Yeah.
lined up? Okay. cool.
Yeah, I think
'Cause
so.
We've got, Gourmet Magazine now says we're one of the hottest restaurant towns. in the
Really?
world.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's,
There are some good eateries here. I remember,
Yeah.
I did a picture here 5, 6 years ago and there were great restaurants.
What do you recommend?
well, I mean, it's pretty much all over the place. I mean, we've got, in Southeast, where we live in the Hawthorne district, which is across the river ways, you probably know, I mean, you're a little
I'm
familiar with
not
that.
too familiar. I mean, I know
There's
a little bit.
Guy, a great chef, just opened a restaurant called Loro. It's a Mediterranean
Oh,
kind of
okay.
thing, and it's just fabulous. It's got a
Really?
site. But just within this, within about 4 or 5 blocks here,
Right.
you've got some great stuff, and that's Pearl.
Especially
Jake's
the
is
Pearl.
where I always take people. It's a great old bistro menu.
Right.
It's dark, it's got the wood, it's got the,
Oh, that
the
sounds
long
nice.
menu of the this and that.
Jason's?
Jake's.
Jake's, okay.
In fact, it's like 2 blocks from here.
Oh, okay, great.
Great place.
I just love the way
Good man.
Portland is
Yeah.
still such a beautiful town. I mean, it's still got all of that original architecture, and it's just
It's
beautiful here.
fabulous.
And
Still
the
got some
trees,
funk.
and it's. And then we were driving in today from the airport, we saw the kids swimming in those waterfalls at that fountain.
That's
Yeah,
That
sounds
was great, yeah, I've never seen that.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It is for many people who come here from other places, it's like a 20-year throwback.
Yeah.
You figure, wait a minute, we
Mhm.
got the same thing happened to us 11 years ago when we came
When
up
you
here
came.
from, we were living in Sausalito,
Mhm.
California, so it was like, okay, they gave a party and everybody showed up.
Right.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And when we got here, we felt that
Right.
the sense of graciousness where,
Yeah.
you come to a stop sign and you want to make a left turn, the other person's going, and you sit there for 5 minutes saying, no, you go ahead. No.
Oh, see, that would drive me bananas.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that would drive me
Please stop,
crazy.
stop sign.
No, everybody stop.
Yeah,
I just keep going.
follow through.
Yeah.
No.
No.
The animators are probably just over the moon that you guys are here because this is
Oh.
a wonderful animation town.
Yeah, I know.
It's really, we got some.
I had an Irish lady bartender that gave me an espresso tonight who said she and her husband are working on a claymation film in their basement.
You're kidding.
No. She said, what are you here for? And I said, I'm up here for this movie premiere, this Hair High, this animated film that Bill Plimpton and I did a voice in it, so we're up here to,
Right.
for the premiere tonight. She says, my husband and I, she said, we're doing an animated, we're doing a claymation film.
That's
I said,
fantastic.
where are you from? She said, oh, I'm from Northern Ireland. I
Oh.
said, I never would have guessed. So they're doing a claymation film and I said, well, that'll take some time. She said, yeah, we've been working on it for 2 years now.
Yeah. It takes forever.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's
It
great.
took Bill 3 years to make this movie.
And
Start to finish.
we're going to be one of the cities that is involved in the 48-hour film festival,
Oh, wow.
which is coming up. In fact, the deadline is the 6th, and then it's the weekend of August 21st.
Oh,
But
okay.
I've worked on 5 features right here
Right,
in town doing stills.
right.
Yeah, after you, sir.
Okay. I'll be right up. So Martha,
Yeah.
so you produced this movie, right?
I'm a co-producer. I didn't do any of the stuff that normal, regular producers do. Like, I didn't call any money people. I didn't, hawk the movie at, trade fairs or anything. Basically, I cast the movie. I helped Bill get financing with the cast. I helped him put together the recording sessions with the cast. And, any rehearsals or meetings with the cast, I helped him put together. and that's about it. And a couple of other things I sort of gave him, you know, some contacts and things like that. But I don't, you know, I like the creative stuff, and most producers are in on the business end of things, and that's fine and it's fun and everything. But I just, you know, I'm not that kind of girl.
So what was your favorite part of producing?
Well, I think my favorite part of it was just seeing how whatever I could help Bill accomplish, you know, whatever small contribution I could make, really helped him, I think, make one of his best movies yet, I think. And that really, I mean, I'm just proud to be a part of it, you know what I mean? I'm proud that I got to be a part of his sort of growth as an artist and an animator and a director, you know, of actors, which is something he never really had the opportunity to do before. So I was really glad I got to help him with that. It just was great to see him sort of develop and sort of come into his own in that way, because he's always been a very sort of underground, you know, radical kind of, you know, filmmaker. And I don't know, I don't want to think I corrupted him at all, but it's nice to see him moving a little bit more into a wider, you know, with a wider audience. So that's great. That's really great.
Eric?
Hi.
Hey.
What do you want?
Just a question or two.
Yeah.
I swear, I don't bite.
I'm kidding. I totally think
Okay, so what was your favorite part of working on this?
being a voice in an animated movie is the coolest thing I've wanted to do my whole life. And so I got to just mess around with the script a little bit and just had a field day for like 3 hours. I'm the lead in a Bill Plimpton animated. That's crazy. It's ridiculous, really. So I can't believe it. So I'm flattered and honored.
So what's next for you right now?
Drinking soon. I actually just sold a pilot to HBO. I'm writing a pilot right now.
Anything you can talk about?
Sure, yeah, it's a political sitcom. They're actually doing a sitcom, like a multi-camera, traditional, straight-up sitcom. And it's going to be like sort of all the family, blue-collar, more middle-class all the family, but very political, very Bush, bashing, talk about the war, talk about everything that's... So everyone's talking about politics now, constantly, so I'm going to try to do that.
Thank you. Keith?
Yeah,
So what was your favorite part of working on this?
just being able to do a voice in an animated film. I mean, and to have the first time I got to do that, to be a Bill Plimpton movie, makes me much hipper than I am.
Absolutely.
Then you can laugh at those people at Pixar. So.
Exactly. Yeah, see, they'll be sorry.
So what's next for you?
I too have embarked into, I leapt into the world of the situation comedy. Having played the Hickok on Deadwood, I discovered that there is life after death on Deadwood, and it's funny. I'm doing a sitcom with the writers Mike and Julie Scully, who used to write for The Simpsons. Everybody loves Raymond, and it's called Complete Savages, and I play the bachelor father of 5 teenage boys. I like to describe it as sort of my 3 sons meets Animal House.
Okay. Then what was it like working on Deadwood?
Oh, it was great. It was an extraordinary experience. I mean, to work with somebody like David Milch and Walter Hill, who directed the pilot. Well, Walter was the reason I was brought into the show.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah. So I mean, it was an extraordinary experience. And,
Now, you worked with Walter Hill a couple times, right? Like you did.
yeah, a number of times. The first time was Long Riders, then Southern Comfort. Then I did a cameo in Wild Bill, where Jeff Bridges played the Hickok, and I played Buffalo Bill in that. And then I did an episode of a series that Walter was a part of called Perversions of Science, from the comic book series. And we did a half-an-hour episode together. So Walter brought me in on this, on Deadwood.
So if Bill asks you to work for him again, will you?
In a second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take a little bit more than I would normally take. Okay, now pretend you love this boy.
Which one? We do. We love something.
No, you're going to be in the next animation. Okay, even closer. love heads. The other. I have a book of people sticking their tongues out. I should get you guys in. Okay, can anybody help me get Gene Simmons? I've been getting him. I've been trying him, and he contacted me one time and never since. And it's a tongue book, and he needs to be on the cover. Don't you think?
Yeah.
But he wrote an article. He doesn't like his tongue out, so I want something to put them in. So if anybody has anything, it's a great book. It's funny. It's got history and mythology. I'm doing the sales side of here.
Cool.
And I'd love to have him on the cover. Right now I have an Einstein lookalike.
Okay. Excellent.
Excellent.
So, let's do one more. Fantastic.
One favor too.
What?
My best friend in the universe is one of the biggest movie fans.
Okay.
Can she take one with you?
Sure. I wondered what you were
Do you
doing
want
lurking in
Bill
the
in
corner over there.
Do you want Bill in any?
Silently.
Do you want Bill in any of these?
I don't know where Bill is.
Bill who? I don't know.
Ah,
Bill Smith. Okay, chin down a little bit for your glass.
Jamie,
Perfect.
smile. Come
Yeah.
on.
Okay, go.
Remember
Goonies.
She's ultra shy, Mark.
Think of Bill standing naked behind me. Gotcha.
Probably don't know. Wow.
Yes. Where you guys headed?
I think I need to be near that bread.
Not too much.
Who's got the camera?
Wait, no, let's get all the actors here. Okay. Sit right here. We're good.
Who are we looking at first?
That's good, thanks.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's my battery.
Oh,
I want to
Sketch quickly, sketch quickly.
Charge your battery. There you go. All right.
We should get every car, right? We should get this one too.
Yeah, wait, now you guys gotta get
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's sweet.
Sit in it.
Yeah, I'll sit in it.
Can I take a picture of you guys like you're on a date? Oh, you look so good, like you're on a date.
Are you shooting this dark on?
Huh? No, you can't be mean to your girl. Jamie's gonna freak out. What?
Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Very nice.
That's okay.
Get in front here. Get in front.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna get in this picture.
Oh, get in. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Dick.
My shirt matches the car.
Your shirt matches the car. Where's my dad?
He's down there.
Steve, did you want to get in?
All right, good.
Kneel down in front here.
I want in there.
Well,
That's good, that's good, that's good. We're going out of film. We're going out of film.
Hey, Dennis.
Wendy. Oh, I got it.
Dennis.
You gotta hang on. You gotta hang on.
It's a long story, but he covered your airfare because they froze my credit card.
Yeah.
So can Dennis get one with you guys? Dennis made it.
Yeah, hi, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis. Eric.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for helping out. That's great of you.
Good. You're welcome.
wow, that's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
You look pretty good there.
Yeah, you should.
Oh, no, others.
Really?
I agree. Right now.
I love this.
Perfect.
Oh, thank you.
Can I get you to sign that?
Sure.
I like your book.
Sure. You got a pen?
I don't. Pat, you got a pen? Yes, I do. Are they gonna organize them all around one party? I'm there.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, you too. Oh, that'll be cute. Oh, that's cute.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
You want another one? Where'd she go?
Get down.
It's pretty out there, isn't it?
Yeah. They really vamp it. Oh, I'm sorry. Be the car. Be the car.
I'm nothing at all.
Yes, you're nothing at all.
No, it's not that it's nothing at
Oh,
all. I
nothing
mean,
at all.
it's something at all.
Isn't there a song by that?
Yes.
That is a gorgeous car. Beautiful.
You were sitting in the car and then you were over there.
Oh, but escorting you out.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, let's see if we can do it. I'm going to try it from this way. Yes, Keith, you want to? Hey, Keith.
Made it in time for that.
Oh, let's not be too cheesy now.
My big gorilla mitt.
No,
Ow. Ow.
Oh, that's lovely, guys. Lovely. Now both of you could be helping her out.
Okay. All right. That's too cheesy. No, that makes me look like an invalid.
You help them out.
We can work this in somehow. I'll get give me an MPEG of this. How's that?
I don't talk about.
You know what I would love? Oh, after you finish it,
What's that?
What'd you love?
I think it would be great if you were like, so we see the front of the car.
Oh, it's a great.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
great.
Come
car.
around to the front.
Because the
Absolutely.
front, yeah, come out to the front, that's going to be some Carradine.
Yes.